All right. So this is going to get put away for the winter, and it's we just bought it, so we've had it playing with it all winter long, and it's going to get put away for the summer. Excuse me. The cable that I'm going to use is one of our permanent battery terminal cables, and basically what we do is we find the battery, which I happen to know where it is. Okay. And if you can look down here. Pretty simple installation. We've got a red terminal and a black terminal. Now, one thing that you need to be aware of that you should always do is when you're putting this on, it's easy to put on. You got a red one and a black one, but you always remove the negative first, and then you remove the positive. And when you put it back together, you connect the positive first and then the negative. And the reason for that is if you have the negative on and I'm trying to take this off and I happen to touch that piece of metal right there, I will be dead shorting the battery and it will spark and scare me, and we don't want to have that happen. So let's get this thing connected up and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got the positive on the positive, the negative on the negative, and I, of course, installed it exactly how I said. I connected up the positive first, and then I connected the negative. And now what I've got is we got a little excess cable, and what I like to usually do is just sort of tie it in place with a couple tie downs. I'm going to have it just close the hatch, but I'm going to have it dangle like this, and that way I can easily plug it in or unplug it whenever I want to. So I think maybe a tie right up there will take care of that, and then we'll plug it into the charger maintainer for the summer. And in the spring, when I come back, that'll be ready to go. A lot of people sometimes ask me, what is that big green thing? This is an inline fuse, and it's for protection. If you accidentally shorted this thing out, or somebody went in there and shorted those out, it blows the fuse so that you won't hurt anything. So we put whenever we do a permanent connection, we always put a protective fuse built onto the cable. Now what's going to happen is the battery's going to get plugged onto the charger maintainer. All summer long it'll be pulsed, and that's what our chargers do. They pulse and they exercise the battery while they're on. So it's as close to driving as you can get, because one thing about batteries, the more you use them, the longer they last. What kills batteries is storage, and because they're sitting stagnant. And there's two things that happen. Everybody knows the voltage goes down on a battery that sits for a long time. A lot of other people don't realize that a normal battery, 30% of it's water, 70% sulfuric acid, and it's like oil and vinegar in salad dressing. They separate. And when they separate, you end up with water at the top and sulfuric acid at the bottom. It takes about a month. And that's not good for a battery either. That's too much sulfuric acid down at the bottom. More evaporation because you got water at the top. When you try to start something with a battery like that, it's only 70% because water and lead plates don't conduct electricity. So we do a thing called burping the battery. And if you've never heard of that terminology before, it's actually a battery terminology. And what that really means is periodically we increase the voltage of the battery a little bit. We make little bubbles. The little bubbles mix up the sulfuric acid and water. That will make your battery last longer. So it's not just voltage anymore. With pulse chargers, it's voltage and burping. We do both, and exercising, and that's what keeps the battery alive longer. So there we go.